Dandadan Season 2 is off to a great start. At the time of shooting this video, the season premiere is fast approaching on July 3rd, and the first 3 episodes were actually released in theaters as Dandadan Evil Eye, so I went to take a look for myself. The first episode of season 2 picks up immediately right after the season 1 finale. We have Okarun and Jiji discovering a hidden room in Jiji's house full of talismans, and Momo is in quite a predicament, facing danger at the local hot springs in Jiji's town, Daija And from there, the show doesn't miss a beat. Pop culture references are still sprinkled throughout the show, from imagery to some of the shots. I swear I even saw like a reference to Akuma from Street Fighter during one action scene, but tell me in the comments if you spot that as well. The humor is still absurd, and its great timing makes it hilarious. The animation has the same visually striking, dynamic, and eclectic style we came to know and love from season 1, and it even feels that there's a improvement or enhancement to the movement and illustrations of the animation. And in a Reddit thread about Evil Eye, there's one commenter that points this out about the animation, saying that after a recap that they presented before showing the 3 episodes, the commenter says that you could really see the improvement for the reanimated hot springs town sequences. So right there, you already see a comparison from the animation in season 1 versus season 2, and you definitely see there's a lot more detail to it now. It all only adds to the feel and tone of the show. The action scenes and the choreography is on point, and every single frame just keeps you hooked and looking at the screen. And it seems that fans overall agree about the improvement in animation. Another commenter expressed, "I think this is probably the best animation quality the anime industry has to offer at the moment, especially for a TV series." And I don't think they're far off. I mean, the animation is top notch here. Oh, and let's talk about the music. Now, we definitely get to hear some familiar tunes from season 1, but they also bring some new music that pairs really well, especially with some the action sequences and some of the really creepy horror sequences. And after the 3 episodes were presented, there was actually an interview with the directors, Fuga Yamashiro and Abel Gongora. And Gongora, who was apparently more involved with the development of the music, explained that the new music is going to be a little more upbeat with some techno influences, and we definitely hear that, and it's great. I actually really enjoyed it. Now, let's talk about the plot, because just in the span of these 3 episodes, the plot goes in many different directions. We're taken from one situation to another and are thrown for twists and turns that are very unexpected here. And it even feels that the stakes are higher here, with our main cast, dealing with multiple threats and antagonists. And so far, it looks that season 2 is going to take us for a wild ride that I hope continues for the rest of the season. In the interview with the directors, Yamashiro actually explained that unlike season 1, where they mostly followed the manga panel per panel in terms of the shots and the scenes and just really filled in the empty space, season 2 actually they're trying something a little different and really taking advantage of the medium of animation to extend beyond what the manga shows, and even adapting some scenes, maybe doing some things a little bit different without really changing the plot, just more in terms of visuals and how certain things or situations unfold. And this only tells me that there's going to be many unpredictable surprises for both manga and anime fans. And I think that's something to get excited about. Another great thing that I really enjoyed about Dandadan Season 1 is its ensemble cast. and how the show really highlighted their individuality and showed their character development and progress. And I'm happy to say that season 2 is really showcasing that here and doing a great job of that, even in these first 3 episodes. Momo is still bold, confident, and fierce, and is more in tune with their psychic abilities. There's an action scene in Jiji's house that really shows off how badass Momo is, with her martial arts ability and telekinetic skills. Like one Reddit commenter said, Momo is becoming one of the toughest and most capable fighters. And I gotta agree with that. It was really fun seeing what she could do. And again, the action scenes were just animated amazingly. Now, Okarun continues being the shy and awkward, which really lends to some comedic relief, but he's outgrowing his loneliness and really embracing his newfound friends, to who he feels an intense loyalty and is protective of. When he turns into his turbo granny form, he's more unstoppable than before, and we even get some new looks at his design in that state. But the standout for me has to be Jiji, a character that I wasn't fully convinced about in season 1, and honestly, I felt he was kind of obnoxious. But after seeing these first 3 episodes of season 2, I'm completely on board. I mean, we get more about his cursed past and upbringing and learn more about him as a character. But also, one of the episodes really puts the spotlight on Jiji and shows his determination in the face of danger. You know, it's funny. One person made a comment that I thought was relatable, and they posted, I'll quote something I said to my friend before we walked into the theater, talking about Dandadan Evil Eye. And they said to their friend, I can't wait for this movie to force me to like Jiji at gunpoint. My faith was not misplaced. I mean, my man just locked in. Yeah, and we saw another side of Jiji, and now I can't wait to see where his arc goes. Also, we got some new bads that so far are interesting and different, and some creepy and unsettling, which brings me to another point, the horror. It really feels like season 2 is upping the ante on the horror here, and I'm all about it, and I can't wait to see more. And I'm not completely off with feeling that way. Gongora, in the interview after the 3 episodes, explained that in preparation to co-direct season 2, he actually looked at other horror movies from all over the world, particularly Japanese horror, for inspiration on how to set up scenes and imagery within the genre. And we definitely get some really eerie and creepy scenes in just these 3 episodes, so I can't wait to see what else is coming in the rest of the season. Honestly, it looks like season 2 is in great hands, again with Yamashiro and co-director Gongora, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching Dandadan Evil Eye and the first 3 episodes of season 2. And apparently a lot of you who watched my last video on Dandadan agree. For example, one commenter said, I personally think season 2 is better than season 1. Besides that, I went to see the first 3 episodes in the cinema, and overall it has better animated sequences than season 1, so it should be good. While some of you that are actually reading the manga gave me a little bit of added hope that we are in for a treat. For example, one of you said, I'm caught up with the manga, trust me, just going to be really peak. I can't wait. So there you go. I think all signs are pointing that this is going to be great. I mean, season 2 is shaping up to follow up in season 1's footsteps. Turning up the dial on the action, the humor, animation, and most importantly of all, the characters, bringing everything that we loved from the series so far. And overall, the fans in the community seem to be highly positive on what they saw in Dandadan Evil Eye. the first 3 episodes. And I think one of the highlights really is the animation. I mean, the animation quality is obviously improved. Not that season 1 wasn't good enough, but it's a nice surprise to see that the team behind Dandadan has really pushed the envelope on the series. And there were a few people that mentioned that they felt that the pace was a little bit off in these first 3 episodes. But other than that, I mean, pretty much everybody's on board that the show is fun. There's a lot of improvements, and it seems that most people are excited for what's to come, including myself. But let's talk about what you think. Did you watch Dandadan Evil Eye, or are you currently watching season 2? How do you feel about the show so far? Let's keep the conversation going and leave your thoughts down in the comments. I would like to hear what you got to say and feature some of your comments in future videos. At the end though, if you enjoyed season 1, it looks like you're going to be in for a treat with season 2. And if the first 3 episodes shown in Dandadan Evil Eye are any indication of the rest of the season, we're in a good place and things are only going to get better from here. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, sign up for Pop Pulse Digest, our free, fun, and easy to read weekly newsletter to stay up to date on the latest stories and news in anime, gaming, and more. Until next time, I'm Antonio from ThyGeekdom.com.